Rich woman screams at teen mechanic fixing her Ferrari. Seconds later, he stuns everyone. It was the kind of California morning that smelled like money, fresh coffee, leather seats, and fuel from high-performance engines. The sun bathed Beverly Hills in gold, and at the corner of an elite auto plaza stood a crimson Ferrari SF90 Straightale, purring with discontent. Its owner, Sylvia Devereaux, was pacing impatiently, her stiletto heels clicking against the concrete like a metronome of privilege. Sylvia was the definition of high society, CEO of a luxury fashion brand, cover of Forbes, known for her taste, tantrums, and towering presence. Her Ferrari had started sputtering en route to a major red carpet charity gala. Furious and late, she had it towed to the nearest high-end service center, only to find that their senior mechanics were out for lunch. That's when she saw him, grease-smudged hands, baggy overalls, and all of 17, crouched beneath the hood of her million-dollar machine. "Excuse me." Sylvia's voice was sharp, condescending. "What on earth do you think you're doing?" The boy stood slowly, wiping his hands on a rag. His name tag read, Jace. "I was asked to run a diagnostic, ma'am. The team is out, but—" "You're a child," she snapped. "Do you even know what you're doing? This isn't a lawnmower. It's a Ferrari. You'll scratch it with your breath." Other customers and employees glanced over. Embarrassment flushed Jace's cheeks, but he didn't speak. Instead, he turned back under the hood, calm but determined. Sylvia was about to demand a manager when something unusual happened. The Ferrari, which had refused to even idle, suddenly let out a clean, even hum. Jace stepped back and gave a small, proud nod. "There you go. Spark plug misfire. Recalibrated the timing control unit and reset the ECM. Should run smoother than ever." Sylvia blinked, confused. "You fixed it?" "Yes, ma'am." "Just like that?" "Just like that." For a beat, the world paused. Then the other customers clapped, and a nearby elderly man shouted, "That's a prodigy right there." Sylvia opened her mouth, then closed it again. She looked at Jace as if seeing him for the first time. He didn't meet her eyes. He was already gathering his tools, his movements precise and quiet. Something in Sylvia softened. "How old are you?" she asked, her voice now tinged with curiosity instead of contempt. 17, Jace said, shrugging. "Where'd you learn to work like that?" He hesitated, unsure whether to answer. But there was something sincere in her tone now. "My dad was a mechanic. Taught me everything before he passed. I work here after school to help my mom." Sylvia blinked. "You're still in high school?" "Graduating this year," he said. "With a scholarship. Planning to study mechanical engineering if I can save enough." She stared at him for a long moment, her eyes flicking over the grease on his face, the slight tear at his sleeve, and the quiet dignity in his stance. Something in her chest shifted, guilt, perhaps, or recognition. Maybe both. "Well," she finally said, clearing her throat. "You have a talent." "Thank you, Jace." He gave her a nod and turned away, but her words stopped him. "Wait," she said. "Do you have a card or something?" Jace chuckled. "A card? Ma'am, I can barely afford lunch." Sylvia smiled, truly smiled for the first time that day. "Give me your number. I may have something in mind." 2 weeks passed. Jace didn't think much about the woman with the Ferrari. He had homework, bills, and a worn-out backpack to worry about. But one Friday evening, as he was clocking out, his manager approached him. "You got a visitor," he said, nodding toward the waiting area. Jace looked up, and there she was. Sylvia Devereaux, dressed in smart casual linen, with no bodyguards or assistants, holding 2 iced lemonades and a small leather folder. "I thought you might be working," she said, handing him a drink. He blinked, stunned. "What are you doing here?" "I wanted to say thank you." Properly. She opened the folder and slid it across to him. Inside was a full scholarship, tuition, housing, books, to Caltech. His dream school. Jay stared at the paper, then up at her, confused. I don't understand. Sylvia smiled. When I was your age, no one believed in me either. I built my company from nothing. I know talent when I see it, and I saw it in you. I also know how it feels to be underestimated. Jace swallowed hard. I can't accept this. You can. And you will. But only if you promise me something. Anything. Help someone else when you're in a position to. Pass it forward. Tears welled in Jace's eyes. For a long moment, he couldn't speak. He finally nodded. I will. I promise. She stood, about to leave, then turned and added with a wink, and if you ever want to intern at a fashion tech crossover company, give me a call. We're designing cars next. Years passed. Jace graduated with honors, earning accolades for his innovations in sustainable automotive systems. He worked with companies that developed solar-powered engines, won Youth Inventor Awards, and even landed on the cover of Time as one of the brightest minds under 30. But one day, as he toured a vocational high school in South Central LA, giving a talk on engineering and resilience, he met a young girl named Trinity. She was sketching an electric motor on a tattered notebook, her eyes full of quiet brilliance. He saw himself in her. After the talk, he approached her. Do you want to build cars someday? She nodded shyly. But we can't afford college. My mom says dreams are expensive. Jace smiled and handed her a card. His own. Then let me help you start. Someone once believed in me. And I never forgot. Back in Beverly Hills, Sylvia watched the news as Jace introduced his own line of eco-friendly sports cars, sleek, affordable, and powered by renewable energy. He named the company Legacy Engines. In his speech, he mentioned a stranger who saw him when others didn't. She gave me a chance when I needed it most, he said, looking into the camera. And because of that, I now have the honor of giving others the same. Sylvia turned off the TV, her eyes misty. Outside, her Ferrari still sat, polished and pristine. But she hadn't driven it in years. Because the real engine that had driven her life forward, was compassion. Moral: sometimes, the smallest moments of kindness can ignite the biggest changes. Believe in someone, and you might just fuel a future you never imagined.